Hey YouTube, welcome back to Super Lorcana World. After yesterday's video, which people were not a fan of, and people found it a little bit rough around the edges and whatever. I want to have a video today that's just pure positivity. I want to appreciate something that Lorcana does really well, and I really noticed it today with the revealing of the Atlantis cards. It's the lore in Lorcana, the story that they're trying to build in their world is actually like really neat, and I want to take some time to deep dive into it a little bit. I don't want to spoil the whole story. We don't know the whole story, right? As part of the adventure and the questing, you guys should be able to piece somewhat of a story together, right? That would make sense. But I want to show you guys some things that I find personally really cool, and in other card games, with the exception of Magic, kind of, and Yu-Gi-Oh, kind of, I've never really cared much for story. Like, it's cool that they have these little lore timbits for other people, but it never really shined a light for me, so to speak. For me, card games are more so about playing the cards or finding a way to make money using the cards. Not so much the story, but Lorcana really does make it interesting, and I want to appreciate that. So I don't know, let's just dive right into this video that Disney Lorcana trading card game published 8 hours ago. Venturo sets off with a team of glimmers in search of lore that was swept away by the flood, which is a direct reference to Rise of the Floodborn. When that douchebag lifted the thing out of the thing and caused the whole flood. You guys remember that? I'm using very loose terms not to spoil it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should look into it, because that guy ruined everything. But anyway, that's fine. I don't want to spoil the whole story. But anyway, this guy named Venturo and his team is looking for all the lore that was swept away by the flood. Treasure, for instance, items. I'm not going to play the video, but this guy here is Venturo. This dude, this is Venturo. And he's got like a whole team here. He's finding some stuff. He has got Tinkerbell and a Lumineer on his not Lumineer, sorry. He's got a character on his side, the Tinkerbell there. He summoned Tinker as a Glimmer to help with the looking of the lore, like summoning these allies and characters to help their team. There's Prince Eric, I believe that's Prince Eric. I'm not crazy, right? Did I bring up a Prince Eric picture? I might not have. Prince Eric, yeah. It's the same guy. That's crazy. Another Glimmer, just like that. And they're looking for things, and they're trying to make their life good, is what I get from that, right? And there's even a little bit of at the end here, like a post-credit scene, which they took right from Marvel. Little hand coming up here and just snatching away that trident. There's definitely some stuff going on. It's pretty cool. But what are some little tidbits of story that we can make just from cards, even from the last two sets? From this set being released, Into the Inklands and Rise of the Floodborn. What's some stuff here? There's the Sorcerer's Spellbook, right? Everyone talks about the spellbook. Illumineers seek the power of knowledge, but must be aware of its price. It's really interesting, and we have Illumineers looking for the spellbook. We have Glimmers looking for the spellbook, such as the Queen of Hearts. The glow of lore in the flood caught her eye. The spellbook, she cried. Don't let it get away. That's really cool. You can see these Glimmers here trying to get the spellbook for themselves. You're trying. You got freaking Peter Pan here, that's in the third set in Linklands, who the Illumineers needed someone to find a missing spellbook, and Peter was the first to volunteer. So Peter volunteered to go out there to find the spellbook, because if the spellbook falls into the wrong hands, like the Queen of Hearts, calamity could exact a toll in the land. It's crazy. It's good lore here. Then you got people like Little John that's all like, what's the rush? Rob, take a load off. There's plenty of time to go looking for that lost lore. And then you got Peter Pan's dagger. It was safe until the flood. So they're going to be looking for treasure like Peter Pan's dagger. That's treasure now to some of these Illumineers, right? In this new world, you got someone like Lawrence who thinks that the crown could finally be his. What's the crown? There could be a few crowns. You never really know, right? And then you got Prince Eric. The storm came out of nowhere, forcing Eric to turn back before he reached the mysterious structure at the edge of Lorcana. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. To me, that sounds like a flat Earth reference. I don't know. Maybe it's like I don't really know. Maybe the world of Lorcana is like a country or a continent. I doubt it. It's just really weird terminology. But that could be part of the story to get people thinking. Or maybe we'll find out what is at the edge of Lorcana. What is this mysterious structure? Maybe we'll find out in set 3. Maybe we won't. We have freaking Atlantean runes. Like, I don't know these runes. I don't know what this means. But someone will decipher what this means, and it will probably reveal something really cool. You got Piglet out here. He's going to find the lore. And then you got freaking the Aurelian gyro sensor. Venturo, the guy. This guy, Venturo here. Not that guy. This guy. This is a sensor. It can point you towards lost lore. But if you're not careful, it will lead you off a cliff. That's really freaking cool. And you can see him hold this item. Literally right there. Look at it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's so cool that they're building this interconnected world of characters, right? And then you got people like Della Duck, just like I survived the moon. How tough could the flooded Inklands be? Della Duck is up to the challenge. So yeah, I just want to take this time and just really show you guys how deep the story goes. And I really appreciate it. You know, the guys that are making this game came from Magic. And Magic is big on their stories. The Eldrazi story, freaking the Eldraine story. There's so many stories in Magic. It's really, really cool. Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, I was into Yu-Gi-Oh! Story for like the first anime. You know what I mean? Before GX and 5Ds and all that. And like, they were trying to build a story of ancient Egypt and all that. The Millennium Items and how Millennium Items were treasure and how in the wrong hands they could ruin the entire world, basically. Like, it's really cool stuff. And it's nice to see that Lorcana actually taking like a page out of that book, building a world. And they're not just making... These guys that are designing the card game are not just designing a card game, right? They're designing a whole interactive world. Because lore, from a marketing standpoint, is a selling point. Having story is a selling point. You ever think that the Marvel Infinity Saga would have been as popular as it was if it was just random movies thrown in there with no real story? No. Story sells. It's a really cool thing. People are hyped for the story. So hopefully we'll continue to get some story, and hopefully the flood will disappear and things will return to normal. People will find the lore. And hopefully that little evil post-credit scene in the video there won't lead to anything too terrible. I don't know. This is just me being optimistic and positive. I like what I see. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments and I'll see you later. Bye!